This is boxing mastering techniques to throw faster and more powerful punches.
Today, we'll be taking you through the steps to enhance your punching speed and power. I'll also show you the secret behind how Mike Tyson throws faster and more powerful punches than most people in this video.
The question most people ask is what makes that particular punch so deadly, and why can some boxers punch harder than others?
Boxing has many techniques based on the boxer's style.
That depends on the punch thrown, the type of angle the punches are thrown on. So let's work it out. Boxers, if you look at some of today's fastest, most powerful punches, they all have slightly different styles. That's what makes the sweet science so unpredictable.
Meaning there are multiple ways to throw fast and powerful hands according to your makeup, how your body is put
together. For instance, if you're long, you typically throw punches that are long and whippy from the outside. Using me as an example, your punches would be like this from the outside. More snapping punches from the outside because of my long reach. My reach is 6'8", and I've done a short on that on the channel.
Now, if you don't know what whipping means, let's use this towel as an example. If the towel's wet, when you start that whipping action, it's slow. You don't have that whipping noise until the end and when it snaps. Those are the ones that leave the welts. You're gonna think of your punching the same way
because of that stinging whipping effect. Similar to that right there. So those are the types of fighters that are usually really quick with their hands from the outside.
Now, if you're stocky and have powerful hip drive and love throwing those punches from the inside with power, you're likely throwing those knockout bombs from the inside.
Now, the key to throwing those punches inside, if you're that strong, stockier fighter, shoulder arms, you like working on the inside, you typically have great balance, great coordination. You like to stay low on your legs so that you're strong here, working from the bottom to the top. Now, a key to throwing those powerful punches is head position, how you throw those punches. And I'm gonna show you how Mike Tyson, or why Mike Tyson did that so well, once again, a little later in the video. When you see it, it's all gonna make a lot of sense.
When you utilize hip and shoulder rotation and you have proper alignment, it's essential for optimal power transfer, right? When you put all those together.
Muhammad Ali was amazing at that, snapping that jab out there. You see it in most of his fights. But he did that with great balance and footwork and mobility to really annoy his opponents. But again, he was very much an outside fighter. When you want to instantly throw fast and more powerful punches, we'll look at a few areas for people to perfect.
The first thing you want to do is learn to step in to throw harder and faster with body momentum.
The second thing is you want to throw punches off of a defensive movement like a slip or a duck to really generate force coming up. So here's that uncoil, boom. So you coil and come out of it. Bah, bah, bah.
You want to use full body rotation. That's putting everything together so you generate more force and speed. And of course, head position.
So if you're working a 2-3-2, so let me show you. Slip, a duck, right? A step in. And then from here, if you want to work the body shot, it's a slip here. See it? You can't just randomly throw punches and expect them to be hard. You have to know that you're coming off a duck. You have to know that you're coming off a slip and throwing an uppercut. So right before you do it, you see that counter come up instinctually, boom, boom. You throw those power punches. And if you want to work speed, think of being able to throw those speed punches with smaller movements. You're moving a little faster with faster hands. Now, if you think about how Mike Tyson did it in that peekaboo style, here's what's really special about him, is he was throwing with power as he's stepping in, okay? But what is his head doing? His head's going over his foot, which means he has optimal balance and power so that when he throws his hands, he's coming up and over.
What that does is it puts him in a better balanced position with his head over his foot, where he had optimal control off of that rear leg, which is often half the reason why he was very square in his feet.
a lot of times when he threw his punches, because when he did that, he's loaded. Now he can come up and hit taller fighters. Here, you can come up and hit taller fighters. So when you watch those Tyson highlights, watch what his head, where his head is. Boom, 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 boom. Right? Let's go over the right cross really quick. You're loaded, you're getting ready to go, so your feet are really strong. You could move at any point to throw it, and you want to think about throwing it straight. That cross comes straight across your body. Now, when you're talking about power, it's obviously about that turning over and getting the right part of your hand to make contact, again, through the target or through your opponent. Most right hands are landed off of something, so the jab, hook, cross, right, where you're really digging into it, you're pushing hard into the bag, and almost coming down on it would be a little more power. But you have to determine, are you going speed or are you going power? If you're a shorter fighter and you're working on the inside, if you're fighting inside, you want to open it up, then change the angle, and then land it. Speed though can still be here, short, where you're just throwing them quick down the middle, then changing angles and going again. So it does matter. A lot of times when you start to get better at boxing, you'll start to recognize how you create holes and angles. You'll start to recognize what type of fighter your opponent or your sparring partner is, and you just visualize that when you're working the heavy bag, all different scenarios. Just remember though, short turns and rotations and speed come from little short movements, and then those bigger hip rotations, when you are able to load those punches, will come when you want to land those power shots to dig in.
As mentioned, each punch has a range according to where you are positioned and where you want to land a shot. Your full range will be different on the inside than the outside. It looks a little bit something like this.
Now, when we're talking about full range of motion or fully extended, you don't want to lock out your elbow. You don't want the back foot to come off the ground. You want to be in a strong stance. That's crucial. If you throw your hand out too much and you overextend and that back foot comes off the ground, you're going to get knocked out. Just work the heavy bag with your elbow making contact about 40 degrees or 30 degrees in your elbow, and work that. There, that's outside. And shadow box after it. Working the outside. Okay? Your shoulders will actually move the same with every punch you throw when you get used to working at range with your punches. No matter what punch you throw, your shoulders will generally move in the same position. So film yourself doing that. And on the inside, it's the same rule. Here, just keep your foot somewhat close to the heavy bag, and then work. Same thing in space, moving around.
If you want to work on some very basic but effective drills, try these to help you punch harder and faster.
So the first one is a step in, 1, 2. Super basic, 1 step in, 1 step out. Okay, with speed. Now to execute this, you can step in, ba, ba,
And do 5 in a row for speed.
You do that 5 times in a row, and then rest for about 10-15 seconds to do it again for as much as you need to. And then for power, you're gonna step in and go, ba, ba. Wait, 3, 2, 1. That's a great drill, and that's your first one. Number 2, you're gonna throw the cross and a fast lead hook across the bag.
You want to do that 10 times in a row for speed.
You're gonna do that quickly. The idea is, again, to get that little rotation or that strong rotation coming across. And you can do this from the outside or the inside. For speed, I want you to throw 10 in a row. And then for power, I want you to take it down a notch and go 5 strong, rest 5 strong, and it looks like this.
Number 3, single shots for accuracy. Snap fast hands for speed and dig into the bags for power. And here's how it looks for power. Remember, you're digging into the bag to go a little bit deeper into the torso, into the rib cage, into the head.
Now, body alignment with head position, your ability to rotate and torque your punches over proper contact points is what's really going to separate you from everybody else. So that when you have the knowledge and the technique and the intent to throw those punches harder and faster, you'll deliver a knockout shot exactly when you need to and when you want to.
I encourage you to reach out to me directly by leaving a comment, as I'm always here to support you on your boxing and fitness journey. So make sure you subscribe to the Nate Power Fitness YouTube channel so that we can take your boxing, fitness, and training to the next level.